Yeah, so the journey for me was a little bit different for me because I originally intended to play overseas, and I had it's so weird. So I had gotten a job opportunity to play overseas and make some really good money
Mm-hmm.
in France, and that's kind of how my mindset was. So, the Rockets, obviously my brother Eric plays for them, and what's so crazy is I had came down to visit him and was working out with him, and
Mm-hmm.
the GM was there, the coaches were there, and my brother he didn't want to play because he was a little hurt. So I kind of just took his spot just in, and there was nothing that was in sync and planned, and I kind of went out there and I just played well, and they had
Yeah.
a lot of their guys out there. I mean, they had like Dacian Nix, they had a lot of guys that were on the active roster, to go
Mm-hmm.
out there and play well. They were kind of shocked because obviously they knew about me, but we didn't have as much team success. I didn't have as much individual success of Valpo. So, they were kind of shocked and they said, oh, wait 1 second. We want to bring
Mm-hmm.
you back to another workout. And then, I went to another workout and, played well. So then it came to, 1 week of just working out with them and then two. And then it became into a
Mm-hmm.
summer league offer and then it became into a G League offer. So it was a tough decision to turn down, playing in France, but I feel like I made a pretty good decision. Decision.
Mm-hmm. So like, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Just filling in for him one day,
Hmm.
started all that. That's wild, man. So like the whole process again, like back to the 2K type things, is the
Yeah,
agents, the workouts, and interviews, competition. It all goes like that, huh?
yeah. I mean, that's how it all is. More times than not, it's really hard to number one get into the NBA. That's one, and you have different alleyways, different things you can do,
Mm-hmm.
but it's tough in general because like you need to get an opportunity and you need to be able to play well in your opportunity. Like I'll be honest, like if in my opportunity I didn't play well, I would not have. What I'm saying? If that one opportunity I had, I would not. I probably would have been playing overseas, but
Yeah.
that one opportunity you have, I mean, you just kind of got to take it and roll with it. And I mean, and opportunities will grow from there. But it is like that. The workouts, some workouts, you may have one, you may have 20. You may have to go through an agent to find what scenario is best for you. And there's certain
Mm-hmm.
circumstances to where you may be able to find a deal to where like, hey, they're not paying as much, but you're in a better basketball,
Mm-hmm.
circumstance, and you may have to say, hey, I may go in the worst basketball circumstance to take more money. So
Yeah.
it's a full thing, man. It's definitely not as black and white as some people may make it seem.
Yeah. So what's the hardest workout you had? Like, and I'll
Uh,
say the pre-draft.
well, see, that's the thing. I didn't do any other pre-draft workouts other than the Rockets.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Well.
that was my only thing.
Okay. So like, I guess I'll say as far as I don't know, like a drill or something that they had you do. What was something? Is there anything that you could say that
Yeah, I
was hard?
mean, I'll say this: when you're put up 1-on-one against some NBA players, like a guy like Josh Christopher, he actually came down and played with the Vipers a little bit, but a guy like him,
Mm-hmm.
we played full court 1-on-one with John Lucas, and
Man.
it was one of the toughest things ever. I mean, when you're playing full court 1-on-one with a dude who's 6'5" with a 40-inch vertical that can
Yeah.
score the ball, it can be pretty tough. Justice Winslow was in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a NBA vet now. He's spent 7 years. It's not 6 years. He spent about 4 years with. He is seven, yeah. So 4 years
Mm-hmm.
with the Heat and 3 years with the Trailblazers. So yeah, I would say that was probably one of the toughest workouts I've had in NBA.
Okay. Just competition kind of.
Yeah, I would
So
say that the individual competition is definitely the hardest because I think people have to understand that like when you're on the NBA court, everything gets harder because there's more space, there's
mm-hmm.
more rules. You're not really allowed to hand check. Like for me, I was a really good defender in college because I'm a pretty strong guard and I can move
Yeah.
pretty laterally. In the NBA, you really can't touch guys, so it makes it a little bit harder to stay in front of guys, and it can be kind of tough to stay in front of these crafty guards, these really athletic guys who you got to be right there. So I would say that that's probably one of the hardest things to do is to guard someone 1-on-one, and that's the reason why they say guys don't play defense in the NBA, and that's definitely not true. It's
Yeah.
the rule changes, the athletic ability of players, it can be pretty tough.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, you kind of got into another point I was going to ask. As far as these teams are seeing you working out. Well, this team is seeing you work out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Like, how would you define your game? Do you feel like you're like how on 2K it'd be
Yeah.
like a scorer, shooter, defense player? Like, what do you think you are?
I think as of right now, I would definitely say I'm a little bit more of a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more of a corner specialist, catch and shoot corner specialist. I mean, right now, I think it's kind of tough because I'm still building my way into a role, and it's really tough to, start kind of molding yourself into a game
Mm-hmm.
because when it comes to NBA teams, like if you look at even young guys like Ben Caro or even like any of these young guys, like you like Benedict from the Pacers, like
Yeah.
they're molding their game right now. So
Mm-hmm.
in the league, no matter how good or bad you are, it's going to take a little bit of time to figure out like what type of player you are. And I think
Mm-hmm.
in the league, I'm still figuring that out. But I know one thing is I know I can defend a lot of guys, a lot of positions. And
Yeah.
that's really where I really showed a lot of strength in my game at was I was able to switch on the guys, and that's a big thing. You can switch on guys that are 6'9". If you're guarding a guard who's 6'1", a quick guard who's 6'1", and they
Mm-hmm.
switch. Can you guard now a guy who's 6'9"? And that's the case scenarios that
Yeah.
you're put in. And I did really well with that. So I think that's a really good strength of mine.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, like it's a random point, but like playing like LA Fitness and whatnot, you see those guys like 6'5",
Mm-hmm.
6'6" in there trying to hoop. They ain't really playing serious, but I started thinking about, man, if they actually was playing serious right now, like how difficult would this be? And you're talking about from an NBA level,
Yeah.
pro level. I mean, I wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
that's the toughest part about the league is these guys are big. I mean, obviously, I mean you're coming down. I mean, more times than not on most teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, I know Kyrie just got to Dallas, but I mean, I watched the Mavericks play against the Rockets. I mean, everybody in their starting lineup is 6'7" or taller.
Man, yep.
It's just
They
like you really have.
tall.
But yeah, I'm talking about the shorter Luka Doncic and Hardaway, and then everybody else. You had all those other guys who were 6'11". You had. So it's just like you have so many different um, aspects of the game that you really have to really exploit. And I
Mm-hmm.
think defensively, that's a tough one for anybody to come from college into the pros with.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I was going to ask you about. What was it like getting used to the pro leagues and like what was the differences? But I'm gonna ask you three different things, man. Like, tell me what it's like on an average day that you have practice on. What are you gonna do? You got practice today. What's your day like?
Yeah, so for me, I'm a guy who I like to wake up and then you said three things. So on a practice day,
Well, no. I'm gonna ask you three different things. That's one.
okay,
That's
okay,
one of the three.
okay, I
Yeah.
got you. So I would say I wake up, I like to pray, I like to stretch, I like to, kind of just get my day started off right, eat breakfast, all that stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
we normally practice at 10 o'clock every single day. Practice is normally from 10 to 1 after, film and lifting and practice. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that, my day is, pretty much open to whatever. Like I'll do a podcast or I'll normally have something scheduled. I may play video games. I normally from that time from 1 to 5, I normally have something scheduled. Normally it's something like that. I may
Mm-hmm.
like do something like that, and then for about after 5 or 6, normally I'm either focusing on trying to watch a game, going to a movie, talking on the phone, doing something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of break my days up into preparing for practice, whatever I have scheduled, like a kind of like my job. I feel like in general starts from like 1 to whenever I get out of practice from 1 to 5 or 6, and then from
Mm-hmm.
that 6 to whatever is kind of just like a just a nightcap for me, like just watching the game, going to movies, or
Mm-hmm.
watching the show, relaxing.
Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah.
So like the second one is kind of I bet you it's similar to what you said for the practice day, but I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you what's the game day like?
Yeah, so a game day is no, for me, it's actually very different. So a
Okay.
game day for me, I do the same stuff in terms of the beginning portion, but
Mm-hmm.
so normally a game day at night, normally we have shoot around that starts about 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like to wake up, do my stuff, and then after that, normally I I'll normally try to get a nap in, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure that I eat. I forgot to add that in. So after 6, I'll normally eat. So in between every single thing I do before I'll eat.
Yeah.
But I like to eat right after shoot around. No, I like to sleep right after shoot around and then eat right before we go in. And then by the time 4 o'clock comes, it's game time. And then after we play, then I'll go back into whatever I was going to do. Normally, I'll go to a bar or I'll go watch a movie or I'll watch another team play. I normally can't do that quite as much now since I'm not in the same time zone, but
Yeah.
um, especially whenever we're on the Eastern time zone, I'll try to like watch another game or I'll try to watch something else or do something else. But for the most part, that's what I try to stay with on the game day.
Okay. Man, so I don't forget. I was going to ask this one. Actually, no, I'll save it for later. I'll save it. I'll save it. But for the off, what about an off day? What are you doing on an off day?
So weirdly enough, for me, my off days are pretty similar to a practice day. The For my off day, I'll say that the difference may be everything may get pushed up a little bit earlier for
Mm-hmm.
me. So I'll probably wake up and I'll probably still work out. Especially for someone like me, first year in, not playing as much as I want to.
Yeah.
I'm probably still going to get some work in, but it's not going to be for 3 hours. It's probably going to be for like an hour and 15 minutes or so, hour
Mm-hmm.
and 30. And then by the time I come back from whatever I'm doing, it's probably like 10:30. So
Yeah.
normally I'll try to get, you know, I'll probably try to go to a store, probably try to go to the mall, do something from that area of 11 to 3, and then
Mm-hmm.
from that 3, and normally an off day is normally a Sunday. So normally I'll either go to church,
Mm-hmm.
or if we're on the road, I'll normally try to just watch church or something, and then I'll probably try to that later on in the day. Wait, I'm mixing up my times now. Okay, so I'm still on if we're home, and
Mm-hmm.
that matters a lot because normally it's weird. We
Yeah,
don't.
it's different now.
It's hard because normally we don't really have off days because
Yeah.
the travel days are technically off days. So normally we have more time off when we're on the road. Surprisingly,
Okay.
yeah,
So when
people don't
y'all,
even know that. Like we have more off days, off time when we're on the road versus when we're
wow.
yeah
Hmm.
versus when we're there. So and then normally uh, I kind of try to keep that same sort of feel of after 6. I'm normally whatever. I just kind
Mm-hmm.
of try to just flow with the wind. But in between the off day, I try to earlier in the day. I like to get grocery store runs, stuff like that, out the way, cleaning stuff like that, and then from that 3 to 6, if I have anything scheduled, like whether it be kind of just like a work day, like a podcast, posting something, it'd be from like
Yeah.
3 to 6, and then after 6 is that.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody's schedule is probably different when it comes to just being a pro athlete. It's different
Yeah, I mean, it's
with
not
everybody.
that much. It's just it's weird because we have a lot of off time when we're on the road in the G League because we don't
Mm-hmm.
fly private. We actually fly commercial. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, so when we go places, we normally go there and we stay for 2-3 nights
Mm-hmm. Oh,
for even
wow.
if it's one game. So like if we like let's say that we need to get used to the altitude of like we're in Utah now, um we'll leave on like let's say our game is Saturday, we left
Mm-hmm.
on Thursday. So we got here Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, now Sunday, and then we leave Monday.
So, dang. So, man,
Yeah.
to me, from listening, from my standpoint, from my point of view, it just seems like it's busy.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
busy. Period.
yeah, it's not
I mean,
crazy.
I guess. I mean, it's the same as a regular work day for people. I
Yeah,
guess.
like I know it's not as crazy as some other people's, but I would say that the travel schedule is pretty tough because we like to be on the road. It's actually, believe it or not, it's actually cheaper to do it that way because you're somewhere for longer,
Mm-hmm.
versus kind of going back and forth and kind of having the tickets are actually worse. I
Yeah.
didn't realize when you go back and forth, but when you normally stay, it's not as bad.
So okay. So you touched on the pre-game routines,
Hmm.
like kind of what you do here and there before a game. But like as far as the food, let me ask you about that. What would you eat on a game day?
Yeah, so for me, and I think for a lot of other guys, like the game day food preparation normally starts the night before. I'm honestly not a big stickler on a diet. I'm more a big stickler on making sure that I get whatever I need in.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not going to have, a big, candy buffet before a game, but I'm
Right.
big on making sure like the night before I'm getting in carbs. I'm big on obviously drinking water, a lot of water, cutting out certain things. Like I definitely want to cut out anything that had me kind of, feeling a little like weighing me down. Like I don't think like a burger is good the day before a game or the day of a game. Fries are not
Mm-hmm.
good. I normally either try to cut some things out, like a couple things out, and then make sure that I overload on certain things. Like I may be, what to me, water, carbs, those are two things that, the night before game is crucial.
What
And then
what
the
kind of
day
carbs though?
Really, any carbs. I mean, it could be bread. I know bread's not the healthiest carb, but for someone who burns it off a lot, bread is not bad. I don't. I think if you're not burning off that many carbs, bread is probably not the best thing. But any sort of pasta, spaghetti, it really doesn't matter. Any sort
So
of
so
pasta.
if you're not good at burning it off, you say any sort of pasta.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I said I wouldn't suggest bread. If you're not someone who works out every single day, bread
Yeah.
is definitely not the best thing to eat.
Oh, okay, okay, I got you. You
But
said
like
not.
for someone who works out a lot, bread is not too bad because you can kind of burn it off a little bit faster because your metabolism is a little bit
Mm,
faster. But I still don't load up on bread, but having a little bit of extra bread than you may normally would instead of having a burger or having something that may kind of just weigh you down is probably better all
yeah,
in all. But I try to stick to stuff like any sort of pasta, Alfredo pasta, any sort of pasta.
yeah.
Overload on water. I'm big on rest. To me, rest is more important than diet.
Okay, yeah. Rest. That's
Rest is more
important.
important than diet. And then, right before the game, that breakfast is normally the same as normal. I love to eat eggs every single day, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat eggs, maybe a waffle or something. A little bit of extra carbs. I normally do like a protein waffle.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. So I normally try to stick with a lot of protein in the morning, and then before could almost be anything. It could be like a little, we could either do Subway sandwiches or Firehouse sandwiches, like pretty much anything, even a little bit
Yeah,
more pasta before, and
yeah,
good. And after you can pretty much eat whatever you want to, unless you got a game the next day. So after you can pretty much fuel your body with anything.
yeah. That's good. That's kind of cool that you said pasta, man. I love pasta, but I remember Sean Alexander,
Yeah.
in a running back. He had said before every game. I don't want to quote nobody, man. I'm just getting on this YouTube. I don't know how that works, but he said I think he said like before every game, like his game days, I'll say he always used to eat pasta, and I would just always give him energy for the games. Like his
Yeah,
energy
pasta
went up.
does. I actually recommend really heavy, especially for after games, is fish. Fish is really
Fish.
good. Any sort of salmon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend tilapia, but
Okay.
really any sort of salmon is really, really good for after game. Because a lot of people don't know this, but fish burns fat.
Okay. Man. I mean, I think I heard fish oil pills, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Fish oil pills are. Yeah, I mean, in reality, fish oil pills are one of the best things health wise that people could do.
The
Could
thing
take.
is, have you ever heard? I mean, have you ever like accidentally like had one of them busts while you try to take it? Like just had that man. It happened to me, and I can't take them no more. It's the worst taste.
Yeah,
Telling you. But I've heard that before for sure with the fish.
yeah. Fish is. I mean, I'm not a huge fish guy. That's the only tough part.
Mm.
Like I like shrimp, but shrimp necessarily in the most healthiest for you. It's okay.
It ain't, man.
Yeah, shrimping. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not bad for you, but I mean, it's to me, it's no better or worse than chicken.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It
I
burn.
thought
I
shrimp
think.
was good, really good for you because the protein.
Yeah, no, it has protein. That's the best part. But here's the thing about food that a lot of people don't know. Like a lot of food that we look at, and I don't want to go off the rails with this, but a lot of the stuff that we eat is based upon how it's made.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, put it to you this way: when you look at potatoes, If you eat just straight potatoes, it is extremely healthy for you. But once you add in fries, how it's made, potato chips, now
Yeah.
it's getting away from what you have. Same thing as
Right.
chicken. Chicken is extremely healthy for you, but once you fry it, once you put all that sauce on it, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Same
Right.
thing with fruit.
Man.
People don't realize this. Same thing with fruit. And this is the craziest thing that a lot of people don't know. Smoothies are not very good for you in general, all because
Wow.
of how it's prepared. It's not the same. So if you eat strawberries and pineapples and all that, it is extremely healthy for you. But if you put that same stuff into a blender and put in
Yeah.
water, it is not as healthy for you. It's all in how
Man.
it's prepared.
It's all
All the
how it's
food that we
prepared.
all how it's prepared. Because I had a strength coach once. He literally asked me, like, what type of food do you like to eat? I was trying to give him these cliche answers. He said, no, what type of food do you like to eat? Because when you start saying you like fries, what he's going to do is he's going to get a potato. You say you
Yeah.
like eggs, you're going to get this certain amount of egg. He's not going to necessarily do it the way how you may like it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff is all based upon how it's prepared.
Man.
Yeah.
See, okay, look, just because I got a pro, you seem like you know what you're talking about. You're a pro athlete. I'm gonna ask you this question though. Like, so as far as I know you were saying if you're actually physically, you're working out a lot, you burn a lot of energy, burn a lot of calories. Bread is not bad. So somebody who's not doing that, somebody is just they burn it here and there.
Yeah, bread is
What would
probably
you
the first
suggest
thing.
for carbs though? For
For
that,
carbs, see, that's the
yeah, for
thing.
carbs.
If you're not someone who's burning a lot, you really shouldn't eat a lot of carbs.
Man, okay.
It's tough. I know it's
As
tough.
simple as it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because what carbs do is, like, because here's one thing that people don't know about sugar and fat. So there's a reason why when people eat sugar or drink sugar, because
Yeah.
drinking sugar is much worse than actually eating sugar. People don't realize that. That's the reason why when they see you get a beer belly or whatever, it's because your muscles want to take control. Your body wants to take control over the sugar because it's easier. It's easier than to take over the fat. So that's the reason why when you ingest sugar, it takes that over. It takes care of that because it doesn't want to really go to the fat because taking care of fat is harder. It makes your body work harder to fight versus taking away the sugar.
Dang, man.
And really, honestly, that's how diabetes is started. Is because when your body doesn't take care of the sugar all the way, it becomes an issue.
Man,
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, man. It's pretty much what you need to be doing. Period is exercising. You need to get the heart rate up.
Yeah, I will
That's what
say.
it sounds like.
Yeah, when you do that, your body works a little bit harder to do that. But I would say the two things: if you're not someone who's active, if you cut out carbs and sugar, your entire body will change.
Man, okay, that's game. I'm definitely gonna pass on the information, man. And anybody that's watching this, man, take it down.
Yeah,
Got me excited because I'm trying to get myself in shape, man.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do. I'm telling you, if you drink more water and drink less, you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel and how much healthier you'll feel.
Yeah, and just a random question: which water do you prefer? Or is the water just water? Like you see it purified,
I
see
mean,
distilled, you see what's the other one?
everyone
Drinking.
has told me spring, but I'm at, and like I said, I'm not I'm not a nutritionist. All I know is I go off of my experience, so I don't really feel the difference with water, but I do feel the difference with the other stuff I was talking about, and all that stuff that I said was majority through the stuff I learned and through my experience. So water to me is, as long as it's clean water, it's all the same to me.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Okay, man. I appreciate that. Because I'm telling you, I've been wanting to ask somebody these questions, but you can't. You type it in Google, man, they make you think you dying or something.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at any study, but that's what your body's, fought back to do. I mean, your body's an amazing thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we don't even know that we have ate or congested. I mean, there's a reason why we get sick is to protect us. So, our body's an amazing thing. So, if I were you, I wouldn't worry too much with it.
Okay, man. So, okay, let's get back to this pregame routines. So who you listening to when you get ready for a game, or are you shooting around?
Yeah.
DarienSwish.